So, I see it says recording in progress now. I had to tap it so that it would go off the screen. Give me a moment. Gotcha. Okay. So, are you all ready for my story about the movie? Okay. So, the story is about my mother and my father and the a lighter. So, is everyone ready? All right. I'm going on with my story.
I was young with my mom and dad, my dad. My mother liked to go out on the porch and lean on a brick support and just watch. I don't know why she did that. She just liked it. My father was sitting there, oh, so quick, and had a bright idea. My mother's butt was out there. She was a large woman, definitely. My father was a smoker, so he pulled out a lighter looking at her butt. We looked at each other. He snuck up behind her. She was just zoning out, unaware. He waved the lighter under her butt. You know how it feels warm, then you brush it off? That's what he did, the lighter, and she swatted at it. We laughed. He told me, shh. I giggled. I tend to burst out laughing, of course. I held it in while he did it again and again. She keeps swatting at it. Finally, it happened again. It caught fire. She realized it was on fire and started yelling and cussing. He said, wait a minute, as he tried to pat out the fire on her jiggling butt. She's yelling and swearing and cussing while he tries to put it out. He's saying, wait, calm down. The landlord who lives upstairs came running down. What's happening? He saw the flames, and he saw the flames. My father is embarrassed, trying to put them out. My mother's yelling, she's too big to reach, so he's trying to help put it out. The fire went out. I laughed and laughed. Her pants looked like this, a black circle. With her underwear showing clear as day, this big hole in her pants. My father was stammering and my mother said, you! He tried to explain, but she started after him. He ran down the steps, fiddled with his keys, jumped into the car and slammed the door. My mother was yelling. He took off in the car and left her in the dust.
Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you.
Does anybody want to share any reactions?
It's a great story. I have porch stories from my grandparents when I was a kid.
This is pretty good. 2 thumbs way up for her.
Did she end up with any burns?
No, she wasn't burnt.
Okay.
Did your mother and father reconcile after that?
Did she take care of him after that?
No, 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 no. Yeah, he was in the doghouse for a moment. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Cassie. We look for more stories in the future. I'm gonna ask Robert Drain to share his art.
My name is Robert E. Drain Jr., and as I mentioned before, that I am currently an ambassador and consumer of NS Neighborhood Service Organization Life Choices Art Therapy Program. But, my art therapist teacher is Janice Kaufman, and I've been in the program for like 5 years now. And as Ani is sending the video to you now. Okay, Ani, you can go ahead. Oh wow. Okay, so, okay, I had total of 49 in drawings, but I was able to put some of it in. So it goes by real quick. So I'm gonna ask you, so if it's a slideshow, so if it goes to another slide, just pause it, okay? Okay, you go. Okay, so this is the introduction of my art portfolio that was inspired by the NSO Life Choice. Oh, sorry. Oh, I was explaining the introduction on it. Yeah, and yet it has inspired me to want to, because we did so much drawing and drawings and groups and everything, that it has inspired me to want to do my own art portfolio. So I kind of drew this with my left hand, and that I guess it just informs that most of my drawings that I drew with my right hand and stuff. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Okay, stop. This artwork was inspired by James Marezi that we did as a group then, and that I did mine a couple a little differently. That as you can see that on the left side it is daytime, and then on the right is showing that's nighttime. So and I drew different city landscapes and everything as it, and then and the top in the middle I was being creative that I drew the clock tower on there, and it shows as different colors on there. Okay, go ahead. Okay, stop. Now, and this was drip from Fortnite. As I hear that it was it's one of the popular video games that's out. I don't really play it that much, so but my nieces and nephews have drawn it. I mean, has played it. So I looked into the character, and it seems kind of cool. So that's what kind of made me want to draw a self-portrait of Drift from Fortnite. Okay. 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 This was Carl Jacobs from the Dream Team. It took me like an hour or two to draw that.
Those are really cool.
Yes, thank you. Okay, next.
Wow, there's a lot here.
Okay, this is the Air Jordan 1 Retro High, and I guess I guess most of the people wear Jordans and everything. And this was worn by Miles Morales. You may have known him as this movie called Spider-Man, an animated. I haven't watched it really recently, so but I love drawing because I love gym shoes very much. So I love Nikes and everything. So that's what kind of made me want to draw one of his shoes. Okay. Okay. This we did as a group that we drew one of the 101 Dalmatians that is putting up a smile on their face. Okay. Okay, this was another one of another artist that was inspired by so we did this as a group as it was another artist that it was inspired by James Rizzi, as the artwork was called Something About the Night. So we kind of did it the same way, but I kind of did mine a little different. So as you see that different skyscrapers, and one building it has a smiley face with an apple on it in it, and four different spaceships with and with aliens inside of it. Yes. And as you see the moon that is smiling and stuff. So yeah. Okay, next. Okay. This was one of the Valentine Day drawings that was, and again, once again, that was inspired by James and Rizzi that we did as art therapy group. And I kind of did mine a little creative. I drew 4 hearts on each corners and another one on top of the heart. And then I drew a big heart with a moon, and inside of it with stars and little hearts to it. So I thought that was kind of pretty cool for me to do. Okay, next. This was a simple mandala. Now, okay. I kind of did. Now, me personally, I'm not really kind of a a kind of a flower drawing, but I kind of did it anyway. And as it turned out, it was pretty cool how I did it. And you can continue. There you go. This, let me see. This one was a fish design for a ceramic plate by another artist that was Halcha Craig. So what I did, I drew a big fish going towards this way with a little sailboat and the big sun. So I don't know, yeah, because I'm kind of whenever I draw something like this, I draw like a sun and with a sailboat, and I just had a good imagination when it comes to drawings like this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we can start again. Okay. I had a lot of fun with this artwork. Okay, so I didn't even know. Okay, that day was the National Eat Your Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. I didn't. I had a very fun drawing that. So, and by the way, I didn't eat ice cream for breakfast that day. So, so what I did was I drew my favorite ice cream. I mostly eat like strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla ice cream, but I don't usually eat with cherry on top of it and and then with I think that's lime that's on top of the vanilla and with sprinkles on it. I usually don't do that, but I just kind of did that a little different as well. So yes. Okay, Super Mario drawings. I actually drew. So this was when I started to do the fan art Fridays, and as when I was little kid, that I used to play Super Mario a lot. So that's what got me started playing video games in the first place. And this was this was based on the Super Mario game that came out in the mid '80s or something like that. And then yeah, and that's where that came to be. I guess Super Mario Odyssey. Yes. The next one. The White House. Okay, that day it was the President's Day that I drew the White House. It took me like 3 hours to draw this. As the detail of it, I managed to draw all the windows along with the White House. Then the background of it, well, I drew it as it was outside, and I drew the grass and the sky and everything. and I drew the flag on top of the White House, and that most of the presidents were in. Yeah, all except for the very first president, which his name was George Washington. Yeah. Okay. This artist, my art intern did showed us the story about it. This was based off a book. His name was Rigoberto, from the book that was published by Jacqueline Woodson and illustrated by Rafael Lopez. It was called The Day You Begin. It was actually a good story, by the way. Yeah. Okay, my other fan art Friday drawing was Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to play him as a kid, and he actually had a show. I had a cartoon show along with a movie and two movies that had just came out. One came out, I believe, 2 years ago, and another one that just came out this year. And Sonic the Hedgehog is one of my favorites. Yes. Okay, continue. The Batman. And the movie that just came out last year, I have drawn this, and it was actually pretty a good movie, by the way. And this was based on he was going after the Riddler, as he basically make riddles, and he was doing bad things as always, and then Batman, he solves the riddles, and then he eventually catches up with Riddler and takes him to the Arkham Asylum, as always. Yes. Go ahead. Okay, this was okay. Okay, I don't know if most of you are familiar with the legendary rock and roll band that's called the Rolling Stones. I actually had a T-shirt that had this logo of this logo right there, and which I kind of grew out of it and gave it to someone else. Okay, and continue. Now this was. Now and it was in a hill and a big tree, and this was the rise of the sunset. You see most birds flying out of it, and then the tree with no branches in the hill. And then I kind of don't remember. We did this as a group of the artists, but I kind of don't remember the name of the artwork it was. But I kind of did a little different than that. So, okay. Okay, this was the comic version of the Wolverine, which his name was Logan, and he was part of the X-Men, which was by Marvel. Yes. Okay, I actually had fun with this one as well. This was it's National Pie Day, and we drew Albert Einstein holding up a pie. And then if you notice that his T-shirt had a mathematical sign, which was called the pie as well. I actually had fun with that, by the way. Yes. Now this was the village landscape drawing that, and that as you can see that the sunset and right behind the mountain and the trees of that we basically was drawing us up as we were going fishing. I actually I so I actually I actually forgot to draw myself in the sailboat. So I'm gonna just say, like, I was in a house preparing some stuff, those little things where you can we use to catch fish is put on the thing where I forgot what the thing is called, where you put it in the the thing where you put it in the water so the fish can get it. Where you can put worms in it, then you can put it in the water so the fish can catch it. We can catch the fish along with it. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, Johnny Test. He was the cartoon that was inspired by Cartoon Network. I used to watch it every Saturday morning when I was younger. Yes. Okay, this was the abstract art where we drew the fish abstract art. I was I was supposed, and then yeah, and it actually turned out pretty good. As you can see, we were supposed to have do watercolors into it, but instead I did mine a little different. I drew it out and then I just colored it with a crayon and stuff. So I kind of did mine a little different. So continue. Okay, so this was the World Health Organization Day. So this was based on the woman. If you look really closely, it was basically a woman. And then if you look closely, her hair was actually a cloud, a mixture of it. And then in her body, that most of the things that I like to do, which was such as basketball, and it's basically like what you would like to do to keep yourself healthy. And like when you eat vegetables, you smile and other different things that I love to do in my spare time. Yes. Um, this was Master Chief from a video game series called Halo, and it just came out with a TV show as that it is on Paramount Plus. If you guys haven't seen it, the show is actually pretty good, and I'm just now getting into it. So yeah, and then here I am. Now this, I had just drew that a couple of days ago and it says love hurts. It's basically like it's basically like if you can love someone from like basically like if this person like you love somebody the most and then that person end up hurting you and then you kind of get your heart broken at the process. And that's what I kind of wrote down. It said love hurts because I think we pretty much all go through that. And that's pretty much it for my art portfolio. If you guys have any questions, you're very more than welcome to ask me.
I'd say your drawings are good. Pretty cool drawings. 2 thumbs way up for your drawings. Pretty awesome, mate.
Great job.
Okay, thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, you guys.
I love your colors too.
Okay, thank you. I very appreciate that. Oh, hey, Tamika, how are you doing?
Good.
All right.
So-
Thank you, Miss Moore.
Robert, I'm curious about your tools and your choice of media. Do you use crayon and pencil? What do you use most?
Yes. Well, I usually use most as colored pencils, but most of them, and sometimes I use markers, and most of my and some of the artwork that you see from the canvases, I have those watercolor paint brushes that my art therapist teacher had gave me. I think it was from Michael's or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm And it's actually really good. You actually just use it. You don't even have to dip it in water. You can just use it automatically, and which I kind of really enjoy myself doing
Me too.
when it came painting in canvases. Yes.
So do you usually use a marker or a pencil to do your outline and then fill in?
Yes, I do. Yes. what happened was when I started drawing, I usually draw a little light, so that's what I kind of use the markers to draw to trace the lines of the drawings, and so it can come out very well. Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Sasha. You're great for
Yes.
detail work. Hey, Sasha.
Thank you. All right. I appreciate you guys' feedback. Oh, anyone else has something to say?
I really like your art, and it's very good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Kenneth.
And
I agree.
love can hurt, but God heals.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
it does. Yes,
God
it does.
heals. Yes.
Yes, it does.
Because he has someone special for everyone. That person just wasn't the special one.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
How long do you usually work on one piece?
Hmm.
How long do
She
you
said-
usually, do you work on it like on one piece for a couple of weeks? Is it something you sit down and get done like really quickly? What's your process?
Like most drawings, it usually take it depends on what kind it is. It usually take like hours, like so. Like with the White House, it took me 3 to 4 hours to draw because it wasn't very easy as I thought it would be. Yeah. Which it was kind of worth it though. Yeah. Very worth it.
I like my favorite ones are the pictures of the buildings, like the cities, like every different color building, and it looks, geometric and really thought out and well planned, and having all of it's just happy. Like I get a happy feeling from your art, and that it really does work in therapy and help to show a different perspective of what really is kind of being taken in at the time. So thank you for risking, being opposite sometimes of what's going on in the world. That's appreciative.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I like your building with the smile on it also. It was like,
Yeah.
wake up, city, wake up.
Yes. Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep, I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like putting a little comical in the art. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I actually have gotten a little request on doing some comic art stuff. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, does anyone have any questions of Cassie or of Chacha?
That's for Cassie. I'll be looking forward to learning how to do that back.
Do we want Cassie to come back and tell us another story?
Yeah.
I'm sure she has a few.
Hi. Let's meet her.
So next time, Elizabeth is.
Hello.
Yes.
You want me to tell another story now?
She ready?
I'm waiting. Yes. No.
We're almost
Can
out
you
of
do
time,
one that lasts
unfortunately.
Yeah, we're out of time, but can you come next time and do it?
Oh, it's really short. It's a short story.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 3 minutes.
Okay, fine. Great. So it was a long time ago. There was a little girl. You know that little girl? It was a girl sailor. She was going to in a farm. She was looking at the cute baby animals jumping. It was a goat. And she picked it up and put it down. And she was bringing them out over and over again. So then she looked and saw the horses. She said, "Do you want to ride a horse?" And they were like, "Yes." And so they all ran over and they lined up in order to ride the horse. And so then they put them up on the horse. And the girls were heavy and they got up on the horse. And it frightened them, the heights of how high they were on the horse. And they were like, "Yes, we're riding." And they're riding, just galloping along. And what happened was, while they were galloping, they were sliding off the horse. And they were trying to hold on, and they were just going sideways, and they was trying to hold on while they're going down. And then they started screaming, "Help, help, help." And then the child ended up at the bottom of the horse. And they saw the horse poop. And the man went under there to get the person away. And I was just screaming, "Ah!" And the man was like, "Oh," and ran over there. And I'm screaming and screaming. And finally, I was brought back up to the top of the horse. And I was just sitting there looking. I finished.
This should happen.
No.
What's the name of that story? Poop happens?
Poop happens. Thank you all for being here today.
Farm. The name of the story is Farm.
I wanted to say hi to Marguerite too. She came in late today. Nice to see you with us
Yes.
again.
Yeah. Sorry you weren't with us the whole time. So next time we're meeting is May 21st. So,
And who is going to be presenting?
well, Elizabeth's presenting, and then we need one or two others. So I'll be connecting with people. Okay.
Anybody excited and game to do it? Want to volunteer?
I should do it next time.
Megan, you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll talk about how you do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Anybody have any other comments?
I think the copyright issue that came up today, or protecting your work, intellectual property, I think that's a good topic for us to take on. So maybe in June or July, we can do an actual.
Yes, we can find somebody. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks.
One thing, I had an idea to go along with that, like how to share it places like on social media, but still be protected.
Yeah,
Right,
great point.
right.
Great point. And I know from Kenneth and Michael for sure, and I'm sure others. Obviously Cassie has her videos out there. These guys have Facebook pages, Instagram pages, and stuff, and have work out there. So I think it's a good topic. How to make sure you get out there, but how do you get out there safely?
Okay. Thank you, Shasha.